reference from the Karbi Anglong NLC Hills. After 1980s, particularly 1987 onwards, another plain tribe, namely the Boros, they started political movement in Assam. And what was the popular slogan? Divide Assam 50-50. Divide Assam 50-50. Means they also demanded a separate state. And for the purpose of that, what they did political movement as well as secessionist or separatist movement. Both democratic and undemocratic way that movement was started. And as a result of that Boro movement, you must be knowing that, the government of India had taken different initiative to sort out the political issues of the Boros. Different accords were signed so far. We can talk about 1993, Boro Council was created. Then 2003, BTAD was created. BTAD, Bodoland Territorial Autonomous Development Council, was created. And very recently, under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the BTR is signed. And to protect the political rights of the Boro people, during the time of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the constitution was amended. And, the Plains tribe also included under the provision of 6th Schedule of Indian Constitution. Since 1947 to 2003, I must tell you that 6th Schedule is basically means only for the Hills tribe. It is not for the Plains tribe. 6th Schedule is not for the Plains tribe. But for the first time, because of the Boro movement, the constitution was amended and it is included that, yes, the Plains tribe may get the provision of the 6th Schedule, and it is given to the Boro community. Now, when it is given to the Boro community, now the other Plain tribe are coming forward. They are saying that if you can do for the Boros, then why not for us? Now, the Rabas, they are demanding 6th Schedule for them. The Tivas, they are demanding 6th Schedule for them. The Missing, they are demanding 6th Schedule for them. And later, in future, may some other, smaller Plain tribe people may come and say that we also need the provision of 6th Schedule. Okay? See, first one, as already I said, separate state movement, then autonomous state movement. And the third is demand for 6th Schedule, as already I pointed out, demand for 6th Schedule. Now, this, in the context of Assam, I am saying that some other Plain tribe groups are there, they are demanding the provision of 6th Schedule. And who knows, maybe in future, the government of India may accept the demand of these different groups, and these groups may include it under the provision of the 6th Schedule of Indian Constitution. And if it is so, then again, the political administration of Assam, the demography and political administration size will be changed within that state of Assam. The next important point is the demand of inner line permit. Okay, from the very beginning, that inner line permit system had given to the state of Arunachal Pradesh and Mizoram. But there are some other states they have been demanding. One is Meghalaya, they are demanding inner line permit system. Nagaland is also under that, provision of inner line permit system, but only in one part, because Dimapur is not under the part of inner line permit system. Then Manipur, and very recently, during the time of CAA movement, when the people of Manipur, they did protest against the implementation of CAA in the state of Manipur, then the Chief Minister of Manipur had a, I should say, bargaining with the government of India. Though he belongs to BJP party, he is a BJP Chief Minister, even then, keeping in mind about the interest of his communities and his state, he had a bargaining with the government of India. And what kind of bargaining he did? On the one hand, he said that we are ready to accept CAA, but on the other hand, you should give us inner line permit. Give and take. The government of India agreed to give inner line permit to them. and it is given. And in return, Manipur accepted CAA. But unfortunately, the Chief Minister of Meghalaya failed to convince the government of India and failed to get inner line permit system for the state of Meghalaya. Even Assam is also demanding that inner line system. There are different organizations, they have been demanding inner line system for the state of Assam. Because Assam is like an open field. Anyone can come, anyone can settle down, anyone can buy a piece of land. Everything can be done in the state of Assam. There is no rules, there is no kind of restrictions, nothing. But you take the example of the hills areas, you take the examples of plains tribes areas, or you take the examples of six schedule areas. To some extent, they have certain provisions, and with these provisions, they can protect their land and rights. Okay. Then another important point that we have seen when we talked about tribal movement in Northeast India, that is related with secessionist movement. And most of the tribes in Northeast India, maybe earlier or now, they have gone for secessionist movement. You take the example of Nagaland, the Naga people, they have gone for secessionist movement. You must be knowing about NSCN, Isak Muiva, NSCN Kaplang. These are the militant organizations. They have been fighting for what? Sovereign Nagaland. In the same way, at one point of time, the Mizo people also did the same thing under the leadership of Lal Denga, Mizo National Front. It was a militant organization. And what was the demand? Secession from Indian Union, means independent Mizo land. But later on, MNF came to dialogue, had agreement with the government of India, that is very popularly known as Mizo Accord. And as a result of Mizo Accord, the state of Mizoram was created by the government of India. In the same way, if you take the example of the plains tribe like Boro, they have gone for secessionist movement, and of course they had a good number of militant organizations. We can talk about LDFB and so many fractions within that LDFB, BLT, and some other organization. In the same way, when we talked about the Karbi and Dimasa, we can talk about KPLT, DSD, KNV, KLNLF, and some other militant organization. In the same way, if you take the example of Tripura also, the tribals, they have gone for secessionist movement. Even in Tripura also, the Tripura people, they are demanding, Tripura land, a separate state for the tribal of Tripura. And when these tribal people of Tripura, they started movement initially for separate state, the government of India had given district council to them. And therefore, the tribal people of Tripura now, they have a district council. But now they are not satisfied within that district council, and they are demanding more. And what is that? Divide Tripura into two. One is for the tribal, that is Tripura land, and one is for the others. That is a political issue, and that demand is going on. And who knows? Maybe in future, Tripura may be divided into two states, and one may be for the tribal and one for the non-tribal. That is possible. In the same way, in the present context, if you take the state of Meghalaya, at one point of time when that hill state movement was going on, both Jaintia, Khasi, and Garo came together for the cause of hill state, namely Meghalaya. But now you take the example of Garo Hills. The Garo people, they are demanding separate state. They are saying that they don't want to stay with these Khasi people, or in today's Meghalaya. They are demanding that we need a separate state, and Garo Liberation Army is there. Of course, the Garo people, they have 6th schedule, they have district council, but even then they are demanding that they are not happy with that functioning of district council, and they have a lot of political, economic, socio-cultural issues, and therefore they need a separate state. So Garos are demanding. In the same way, if you take all the states except Sikkim is quite peaceful state, good state, and they are talking about development, and they are believing in tourism and all. Except Sikkim, I am saying, if you take all other states of Northeast India, whether it is Assam, whether it is Nagaland, whether it is Mizoram or Meghalaya or Tripura, have been, what should I say, that affected by this secessionist movement, because we have too many militant organizations, and some of them has already come for negotiation, dialogue with government of India, and some of them are still in outside, maybe in China or maybe in Myanmar, and they have been fighting with the government of India. And the last one issue, of course, it is not directly related with tribal politics, but indirectly it is related with the tribal politics. And this is, we have seen in the state of Assam, demand for ST status. There are 6 communities in Assam. They have been demanding for the ST status, namely the Ahom, Kus, Motok Moran, Rajbongsis, and 3 tribes. The 6 communities, of course, Sutias are also there. The 6 communities, they have been demanding for ST status. And this has become a political issue now, because the existing tribes, particularly the existing Plains tribe people, are not ready to accept these 6 communities as a scheduled tribe community. Because, of course, if these 6 communities get ST status, then it will affect the political rights and interests those who have been enjoying by the existing Plains tribe of Assam. But it is a very political issue now, and different political parties has come and gone, and they have done politics on that. So that's why I'm saying that though not directly it is related with tribal politics, but indirectly it is related with it is get ST status, then definitely it will directly affect